Converts, the Gospel of Philip. A Hebrew makes a Hebrew, and such a person is called a convert. A convert does not make a convert. Some people are as they are and make others like them, while others simply are. The distinction here seems to be between someone who is born a Jew and someone who obtains it after birth, and also those who have something and can give it to others, and those who simply obtain something for themselves. He who has not received the Lord is still a Hebrew. Inheriting the living and the dead. A slave seeks only to be free, and does not seek the master's estate, but the son is not only a son, but lays claim to the inheritance of the father. Heirs to the dead are dead, and what they inherit is dead. Heirs to the living are alive, and they inherit both the living and the dead. The dead inherit nothing, for how could a dead person inherit? If a dead person inherits the living will not die, and the dead will come to life. This reminds us of the previous saying and gives us a parallel between a Hebrew and a convert, and a son and a slave. A son of God, or a son of Abraham, because the sons of Abraham are the sons of God, is all important to him and is a co-owner of his property. The slaves of unrighteousness seek to be free from slavery to sin and enter into the rest of God. The saints inherit the kingdom for themselves, having a position in its administration. One is either a son or a slave. Children and slaves are, of course, both part of a household, but they have very different rights and roles within that household. See Galatians chapter 4 and verse 7. Therefore you are no more a servant, but a son, and if a son, then an heir of God through Christ. Next we are told, the dead inherit the dead, but the living inherit both the living and the dead. This is not speaking about natural death, but spiritual death. To be spiritually dead is the same as being a slave to sin. We find in the Gospel of Thomas, Jesus said, the heavens and the earth will roll up in your presence, and whoever is living from the living one will not see death. See also Matthew chapter 8 and verse 22. But Jesus said to him, follow me, and allow the dead to bury their own dead. A Gentile does not die, never having been alive so as to die. One who has believed in truth is alive, but this person is at risk of dying just by being alive. Since Christ came, the world has been created, cities have been beautified, and the dead have been buried. When we were Hebrews, we were orphans with only a mother, but when we became Christians, we had a father and a mother. Perhaps this gives us a hierarchy of Gentile, converts, Hebrew, and Christian. A Gentile is dead. A convert cannot convert others, but a Hebrew can. A Hebrew has only a mother, but a Christian has a father and a mother. The son inherits through the father, but a slave does not inherit. Those who believe in truth are alive, and the living inherit the living. A Gentile is someone who is not a Jew. It also refers to someone who is not a Christian. Anyone who believes the truth is not a Gentile. To die in this context means to go astray from the path. This is spiritual death, which is the only one of significance here. Since Christ the Anointed came, the world has been created, that is, recreated, for the sons are considered a new creation through him as the firstborn in many brothers. He became the door to spiritual birth for anyone who receives him. The cities, our conscious minds, are beautified, that is, trusted in God and becoming subject to our own husband, to do his will and not our own. The individual spirit consciousness is united in one. The dead, the fleshly carnal nature, the old man, the consciousness of sin, or the ego nature, are carried out. When we were Hebrews, we were orphans, but when we became Christians, we had both father and mother. The true followers of Christ are now sons of Abraham, the true father. Jerusalem, the heavenly Jerusalem, is the mother of us all. Jesus says, "He who knows father and mother shall be called son of a harlot." Jews only have mothers. A Jewish mother and a Gentile father is a Jew, but a Jewish father and a Gentile mother is not a Jew. As Christians we have both father and mother. See the Gospel of John chapter 8 and verse 18 and verse 41. The name Christian, the Gospel of Philip. The anointing is superior to baptism, for it is from the word anointing that we have been called Christian, certainly not because of the word baptism. And it is because of the anointing that the Christ, the Messiah, has his name. For the Father anointed the Son, and the Son anointed the apostles, and the apostles anointed us. He who has been anointed possesses everything. Although baptism is often seen as the major expression of a convert's faith, Philip regarded it as far less important than the anointing. It is only with the anointing that a convert can truly be termed a Christian. Receiving this title is the most immediate effect of anointing. If you say, "I am a Jew," no one will be moved. If you say, "I am a Roman," no one will be disturbed. If you say, "I am a Greek, a barbarian, slave or free," no one will be troubled. If you say, "I am a Christian," the world will be shaken. May I receive the one whose name the world cannot bear to hear. Notice that the name Christian, coming only after the anointing, is one that will make everyone tremble, and the rulers will not endure hearing. This passage reflects a period when Christians had begun to be persecuted for the name. At any rate, they are thought of as standing apart from other people. In the early years of the Church, from the 1st century until the 4th century AD, Christianity was still a new and unknown faith. It was viewed with suspicion by many, and internally Christianity was full of divisions, with a huge variety of sects calling themselves Christian. Greek, Roman, barbarian and Jew are fundamentally ethnic categories, whereas Christians could come from any race, nationality or culture, from slaves or free men and women.